let your eyes follow your thumb. Again, you might notice if you're thinking about it that, and the next one, so it just continues. You might notice as you're doing this that it brings in your physical focus, it involves your eyes, it involves your head, but because you're doing an action that involves, I don't know what you want to call it, it's the whole body action. A lot of the movements that you're doing, you're not doing specifically like I'm going to move my neck. I think that's a very nice way to work. And then when you're done with that next one, you can stop. And now you'll do one where you're hitchhiking, but you're going to pretend that you're, sort of the James Dean Hitchhiker. You're like, I don't care if you pick me up. So the thumb goes back, but you're just going to keep your head facing forward. You might feel a little bit of a tension against the head going one way and the body going the other. So now you've got the person's ribcage going, or your own. Your ribcage is going one way with your arm, your shoulder blade is going that way too, and your head is going the other way. And you might not experience this as a neck movement, but since I have neck pain, I certainly have. So the person is getting neck movement, but without focusing directly on the idea of moving their neck, and that's a really helpful thing. So now you're just going to take your arms by your side here, and you're just going to, and this time let's have you turn a little bit so you can, really just, that's right, make it very robot, really robot, yeah. So you're just looking at one hand and then the other hand. Again, you can see how this is an action, it's a set of shapes, it's not that complicated to do, but because you're using your arms and your back, your spine, your legs, your feet, your arms, the neck movement is in context. So now, see if you can do it where you look at the hand that's down.
Oh dear.
Doesn't that suck? Okay. And then pause. And so you introduce something that's like confusing and feels like backwards. And it doesn't matter if they do it right or not, but it gets their neck moving in a way that they're not planning. And so that can be really helpful to wake people up. So now let's do our familiar one. It's the same thing as what I just did, right? I mean, I just did the other one lower. People are warming up. So now, remember, think of it as the two arms as one thing so that you connect the fingernails of one hand with the fingernails of the other. Later on today, we're going to be performing this at a Middle Eastern restaurant, so I want you to really have a full body sense from it. It's going to be very helpful for you. Shake your hands down by your sides. This is one where you can feel your feet. So see, as you shake your hands, see if you can feel how you're subtly moving your grounding deeper. You're moving your feet into the floor. The shaking of your hands, it's also a core strength exercise because as you shake your hands, you're just getting a gentle challenge to you'll be able to maintain a shape standing up. No one's falling down, so you have at least minimal core strength on at least 2 minutes. So then you can just let your arms swing. Let them swing some small amount of your side. And see if you can keep your footprint shape the same. And if you can do that, see if you can relax your hips. And most of us don't relax our hips when we're standing up, although you could do it. It actually takes more muscle and more coordination not to. And so it's a higher level of core strength if you can release your kneecaps, might be a way to think about it. Releasing your kneecaps makes you have to release your quadriceps and make your hips feel very different. And then just let your arms come to still. Feel your body, feel that axis of your body like a pole going down through the floor, going up through your whole spine, on the top of the back of your head. Nice. And then take your arms and grab some air, lift it up, past your face, lift it up, and then open space. As your hands move apart, a space opens up. And then reaching down, bend your knees, reach down to your knees, scoop something up in your arms, compress it, and then release it up into the sky. 2 more times. Take a volume in your arms and compress it, like a bundle of something, and then you're releasing the helium balloons and the doves, as one does. And last time. Nice. So now let's alternate our shoulders. So last time we did both at once, which is kind of hard. I mean, not super hard, but kind of hard. But you can see how this one almost automatically is going to add movement. In a Western context, we might be instructed to do this without moving any other parts of our body. Right? That atomistic thing. We're going to work our shoulders, then we'll do something else. But here, we're actually looking to see how the movement of the shoulders flows into the rest of the body, switch directions. And you can bend your knees. You'll see that if you bend your knees, you have even more options as to how this movement can play out in your body. And you know, moving like this makes it, in some ways, easier. You are compensating. You're letting yourself compensate for any place where you can't move very much. But it also allows you to see when how the person's doing that. So
Like swimming with your shoulders.
it is. It's really good. I like that. I'm gonna keep that in mind. So now let's swim with those water wings on. So, and I'm moving my knees. So let's do that. Bend one knee, then the other as you do this. And now it's the early 60s. Let's go back. We'll have to compose a song to go with this. Now that we've invented a dance, we'll have to have a song to go with it. But we'll do that after lunch. Okay. And then let's do it with the arms. We might as well pretend we're swimming. What the heck? You know what I mean? You're natural. Yeah. I'm seeing it. And then we'll just forcible backstroke. And now let your head go a little bit with the arms. So it turns a little bit towards the arms, going back. You're doing the backstroke, but you also have an audience. So you want to people on both sides of the pool to be able to really enjoy you. Exactly, it's synchronized swimming. Okay, so we're gonna do something where you need a wall. So maybe you can also do this on a table. So you can either do it on a table or a wall. I'm gonna put my head down and I'm gonna put my hands like this. My hands are facing outwards, right? So on the wall, the fingers are pointing outwards. My elbows are bent. And then I'm just gonna press one hand and press the other. So your head is resting completely against the wall or the table. Try it on the wall. You might like it better on the wall than